Hi, Legal Besties. It's Michaela.
And Allison.
And this season, we will be discussing how to lean into your authenticity and softness and what it's like being a female professional in a heavily male-dominated field. On today's episode, we are doing a part 2 with our incredible guest, Heather Reese. And in this episode, we're going to be talking a lot about what it's like being a female professional and how we can use our platform to uplift voices of those around us.
I love it. One of the things Michaela and I were talking about for this episode is, we have talked about how we're professionals in a heavily male-dominated field, but shifting that a little bit, sometimes when you are in this profession, unfortunately, there are other women who don't have that same mentality and that will tear you down and compete with you. And I'm just curious how you navigate that and what's your kind of like take on that whole thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely experienced it. I have definitely, and I think when I was younger, when I was first an attorney and when I first started on social media, I didn't understand the capacity of it, right? Like, I really was naive to think everyone wants everyone to win. I quickly learned that that's not the case and that people find success as a threatening thing. Where, like, I have never felt that way. Like, I want to see everyone succeed. I truly do to the core of my body, my being, everything about me. Like, I've just never thought that somebody else's success took away from anything from me. And I think that's a misconception. I think that's the issue that a lot of the time society does a really great job, especially with young women, to make you think that you're constantly competing, whether it's for the attention of a boy or for a job or, whatever you're competing for. It's a constant level of competition. And I've just never wanted to compete. It's just never been my thing. Like, I've always said, like, this is who I am. And if it's not enough for you, then I'm not the person for you. I don't need to tell you that I'm better than this other person. You take me as exactly as I am. And if it's the fit for you, it's the fit for you. But I'm not going to attain that by bringing somebody else down or telling you how I'm better than the other person. Because I've always believed in collaboration over competition, right? Like, there are a lot of women in this community, in this field, that don't feel that way. And I think it's an unfortunate situation. And I think it stems from, like, however you were brought into this industry, what you've seen in this industry, what you've experienced yourself, right? Like, and if you're a victim of it yourself, it's easy to, like, react that way, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you had to show, up in a different way. So you want everyone else to have to show up in a different way. And I've just never played into that narrative. Like, it's the same thing with, like, this is controversial, but a lot of people are like, the bar exam. Like, I want everyone to have to suffer through the bar exam. And like in my mind, like, my suffering doesn't mean everyone else should suffer, right? Like, abolishing the bar exam is abolishing the bar exam. Like, in my mind, it's like, I don't think just because I had to pay this to take it and take this exam that everyone else should suffer. And I'm just using it as, like, a general example because that's the only example I can think of making somebody else suffer. But, like, that's what I mean. Like, I just think just because it was hard for me doesn't mean I want to make it easier for the next group of people. I never want to make it harder, and I never want to compete with other women. I think it's sad. It's sad when you experience it. It's sad when you see it, and that's why it's super important to be selective in who you allow in. And selective in who you are willing to give your time and energy to, because not everyone gets access to me, right? Like, that's the big thing. Not everyone gets access to me, and that's whether it's in a personal relationship, professional relationship, client. Like, that's just what it is. And if I have given you access to me, then I do that because I'm under the impression, I'm under the belief, and I'm under the understanding that you are somebody that I have access to as well, and somebody that believes the same things as me, feels the same way as me when it comes to the collaboration over competition thing. And I think vetting is important now. I never used to think that I had to vet, but I think I try to vet people more when I kind of allow them in. But then a big part of me is also like, listen, if you want to hate on me, right? Like, there's a million other people that would hate on you with me. Like, trust me. So it's not going to be hard to find somebody else that's going to hate me for just existing. And it's not a new thing for me, right? Being a plus size woman in the professional space, being a Latina in a professional space, being a woman in the professional space, I give you 3 reasons to already start off hating me. So like if that's what you want to do, you can do it. And I'm sure you'll find 30 other people that do it. So it's not, I can't change the way you feel, right? And that's not my job. And that's not the energy that I'm going to put out there to kind of change you. Like, I don't know. But it is sad. I think it is very present in this field. And it's something that I don't subscribe to. I really like try to stay away from it.
It's hard though, because you do see that it's like some of the older generations, like I'll have a defense attorney that'll be very, very difficult with me. And it's like almost like sometimes even more intense than a male defense attorney. And I'm like, why are you being so difficult? Like, and I think it's that mentality some people have. It's like, I had to work through the ropes and like I had to really navigate all of this. So you do too. And it's like, do we? Like, why can't we just make it easier for everybody and just get along?
Yeah, I think it's hard for older generations, especially of women, because they had it really hard. And I sympathize for them. I truly do. Like it must have sucked really, really bad to have like no HR, to have people and be able to say whatever you wanted to say to you, right?
Right.
But the reality is that I'm not your enemy. I'll never be another woman's enemy. I'm really no one's enemy. And I think that that's their own internal thing. And me trying to explain it or understand it has never been a goal of mine. I can't explain why another woman would hate another woman or try to make it difficult, right? With men, I understand it. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to get called little lady or sweetheart or honey or babe or whatever the other thing that they want to call me that day is. And I just kind of roll my eyes and I say, oh, you remind me of my dad, because like I really want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Wait, I need to use that.
I love that.
It's everything. Because it really stops them in their tracks, because they're saying it in a way that they don't necessarily mean it in a sweet way. They're either meaning it in an inappropriate way or they're meaning it in a way to make you feel like you're less than them.
Little. Yep.
So I always say, oh, that's so weird. That's like what my dad calls me. You're his age. That's so great. Yeah,
I love that
same
so
job. Like, that's my whole thing.
Good.
Like I'm like, you're calling me sweetie, you're calling me babe, you're calling me honey. And at the end of the day, like, we have the exact same job.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're that age and I'm this age. So like, babe who, right? Like it is whatever you want to say. But I also I think a lot of people take that in an offensive way and they respond back in like a probably more professional way that's like, don't refer to me that way. And that's great. And you should do that. If that's how you want to advocate for yourself, you should do that. I have always been playful with it, right? Like I'm gonna try to find a way to make you feel uncomfortable.
I love it. I'm stealing that. That's so good.
I know. I literally just repeated it 3 times in my head. Like, you will remember this. You will do this in the future. I love that, because I think a big part of it is I think sometimes it's easy to be reactive, right? Where it's like something happens and it's like, oop, I always have to remind myself, pause, do not respond off of emotion, because just process through this. I always want to be in alignment with the way that I want to operate in the world. I don't want to base the way that I treat people based off of what they're giving me. I want to be authentic and consistent and always in alignment and not responding just because of X, Y, Z. And I think sometimes that's hard in this profession, because it is very adversarial in a lot of ways, and it doesn't have to be. It can be so much more collaborative, and I think it would benefit from being way more collaborative. But I think just if we just take a step back and just remember we're all humans, and it's exactly what you're saying with the bar, which you're in good company. It's if I suffered through something, I don't want other people to have to do this. I don't want people to go through that. But there's so many people whose mentality is well, no, it's a rite of passage. And it's for what? Are you...
It's gatekeeping at its finest. And it's I just have never... Why gatekeep? The older generation loves to gatekeep. They love to not tell you something that they're wearing. Oh, I don't know who made this. Yes, you do. Just tell me where you got the blazer from. It's so weird. And it stems in something as small as that to something as big as the bar exam. Gatekeeping, mentoring. So many people are into gatekeeping, and I simply don't get it. I will tell you everything, because for me it's what does it hurt me, right? What does it hurt me to share? That's the thing. I think a lot of people really didn't understand the concept of sharing as a young age. And my parents really instilled it in me. And I learned that, everything is about what you give into the world. And, I'm not saying I've always been the greatest person. I don't ever pretend you learn
We're
from
works in
everything.
progress.
Right. You learn from the way life is. And for me, like, was I competitive at one point in my life? Sure. And then, like I said, I think everything shifts when major, like, trauma or crisis happen in your life.
Mhm.
And since that point, I think that I don't know. I can't imagine wanting somebody else to suffer just because I suffered. Like, it's such a weird energy. It's such like a weird thing to say. Like, yeah, because I went through that, you should have to. Like, why? No. Like, there's so many things that people had to go through that I don't want to have to go through. Like,
Facts.
diseases, like, I don't know, like the Great Depression. Like, where are we stopping the line, right? Like, where are we saying, no, you should have had to suffer for that, right? Like, I lived through like a life altering event like every year, right? We as millennials do. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I've been through some traumatic event at some point. It's like I don't wish that on the next generation, and I don't say that to the Gen Z. I'm not like, oh, you've had it so easy. No, like you guys have it hard, and I mean, I hope like I'm really rallying for the Gen Zs to do something because they are a generation that is willing to like show up at work at like 10 o'clock and say like, no, I was at spin
Mhm.
class, and I
I
love that.
love it. I love it. They're amazing.
They're everything. They're like they leave at their lunch break. Like I eat lunch
They
at my
take
desk.
their breaks.
They do. They count it, and they're like, no. They're like, this is what time I was set to end at. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm never set to end. My life, I'm always on
Does it
call.
end?
It doesn't ever end. I literally was prepping somebody after the Super Bowl. Like, my life never, it doesn't ever end, right?
Oh my
Being an
God.
attorney, you're up until 11 o'clock, depending on the field you're in, especially in our field, especially in personal injury, right? Like, I'm always available. Now, am I always available for multiple hours? No, but I'm going to answer your call because it's like statistically proven if you don't answer, a lot of the times like they go to someone else, right? They're going to go to another firm and I'm not willing to lose a client, so I'm willing to answer that call at whatever time it's at. Even to be like, "Hey, I can't speak right now. I'm, getting surgery." But like the millennial in me will
The
answer.
millennial will at least answer.
Absolutely. I will at least answer, and I'll text you back and be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm currently under anesthesia, but don't worry." Like tell my
But I will
fiance,
get back to you.
yeah, tell my fiance that somebody will get back to them. Like, sorry, but yeah,
One thing I love about what you said earlier to us was that you, in the terms of like the professional setting, like there is so much space, like, and then it's sad, but like there's so many cases, there's so much space for all of us to really get to the top and like be the best advocates and like just shifting your mindset from like this is like I want to bring people up with me and like collaborate, kind of like what you were saying earlier. Like I love that mindset because I don't think everyone has that mindset. And when you're aligning yourself with people that have similar mindsets, it's like it's so refreshing to see like someone say that and be like, yeah, there's plenty of room up here. Like let's all like help each other on the way up. And is that something that you're like constantly looking out for and like the friendships you make and like the people that you ask to be mentors and things like that?
yeah, for sure. I think that you have to kind of have that mindset to be involved with me because, like, for me, it's like, am I acquaintances with people that are competitive? Sure, but they're not the people that are like in my inner circle. Now, will I still wish them the best and like promote their stuff? Yeah, like that's my big thing. Is like I always find it so weird when people are like, I can't believe you like wear other lawyers' merch or you promote them, and I'm like, why? Like why would it doesn't affect me eating. It doesn't like they're not stealing my client. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right? Because there's a level of respect, right, that we all kind of go under where you're not stealing somebody's client, and as long as you're not doing that, I don't really care. Like I don't and also, like, if you're stealing my client, then why did my client leave me, right? I need to reevaluate. It's like with the, like, no one's going to steal your man. No one's stealing my client. Either they walked away willingly, something I did that I need to reevaluate, or it wasn't meant for me. That client wasn't meant for me. So I think, yeah, I find that to be incredibly important in my personal life and in my professional life. Um, because I've always said if there's not a seat for me at that table, then I don't want to sit there. And if there's not a seat for my friends, I'm not going to sit there. I feel that way all the time about the plus size community, right? Like I work with, you know, brands and companies, and I won't work with people that don't make plus size clothes. Because for me, this is the community that's built me up. This is the community that's got me where I'm at. And just because I've
And
lost
that
some
has your
weight,
back.
right? Just because I've lost some weight doesn't mean I'm going to forget where I came from, right? That happens to a lot of people once they make it. They forget how they got there. And by no means do I mean I've made it. I just mean like, sometimes clothing brands want to work with me.
Yes.
And it's not like big brands. Like, it's not like I'm out here making tons of money on it. But I just mean like, for me, it's like I always told myself I'm never really going to forget where I came from. And those are the people that backed me. And if you're not willing to also have seats for my friends, then I don't want to sit there. And
I'll make my own table.
Yeah, I'm going to get a picnic table. Or like one of those old-fashioned white ones with the two white, legs underneath it that I bought at like TJ Maxx.
I love TJ Maxx. I think honestly that is like something that I really like respect about you, is that a theme in just a lot of the things that you're saying is that you are an active participant in your life. And that sounds so simple, but it's like I think sometimes there's that mentality of like the passive character, which is like, oh, look at the things happening around me. It's like, no, I'm going to make these things happen for me. And if they're not, then I reevaluate. I either show up, louder or different, or I was not made for it. And then you move on, where it's just like, no, I'm an active participant. I'm not going to wait. Like, I'm going to either try and get it. And if it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me, but I tried.
Yeah, for sure. I think you have to be the main character in your life. And I think that's it. Like, I've always been the main character. And if it's like, if I'm not cast in that main character spot, that ain't for me, right? And I think you have to be willing to kind of show up authentically and vulnerably, right? Because that's the other big portion of it in showing up and being realistic, is that I'm honest with myself. And a lot of people aren't. Like, a lot of people lie to themselves. And that's like one way to go about life. But that's just not my thing, right? Like, I don't know if that's because like years of therapy, like I don't know. I couldn't tell you the exact thing, but I'm a huge proponent of therapy. Listen. And I think being self-aware is a foreign concept to a lot of people. And when you are self-aware, it kind of gives you a way of being like, maybe this isn't about me. Maybe this person's reaction isn't because of me, but because of them. Because I know what I'm doing and I know how I'm reacting and I know what I'm saying. So maybe it isn't about me. Maybe it's something deeper, right? And then you're able to kind of tackle things differently. It's a real superpower. Being self-aware is honestly amazing, and everyone should get therapy to be that way. Like,
We talk about this all the time. We literally were like, everyone needs therapy. And like, I think our generation's a little bit more open to it. And it's definitely like less taboo. But like, still, like, I think everyone needs it.
Yeah, no.
Everyone benefits from having like an unbiased third party.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you're right. It was so taboo in the generation, like Gen X boomers. Like, they were like, you don't need therapy. And I'm like, no, you guys need therapy, like bad, like really bad. Like, please get it so you stop calling me.
No, really. I think we have
an email Saturday at 10 p.m. about discovery responses. Stop. No one needs that.
We love boundaries, and we love the weekends to be not work related, because I don't want to burn out and I want to be able to show up 100, like ready to go. And I can't do that if I never like put the candle out for a second and just like let it, rest, sit. And then we can relight the wick and then we'll go again. But it's like, you can't do that if you're always burning.
No,
absolutely.
I think we have time for a couple more questions, and something I want to definitely make sure that we talk about is you use your platform to truly uplift others' voices and spread awareness and inclusivity and just do incredible work. And I kind of want to just give you a moment to just talk about the work that you're doing and the voices that you're uplifting too.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. So I started off last year during Hispanic Heritage Month, showcasing Latino, Latina, and Latinx businesses. I made a thread that I thought like 4 people would respond to, and then like I think I've worked with like 50 to 75, maybe even 100 now, different companies and small businesses.
That's awesome.
And it's been amazing. It really has, because for me it wasn't about it's not about selling something, right? Because like I'm not a salesperson. It's been about me just letting you know that there's these other options out there to buy from, right? Like, and I always preface that I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not a skincare guru. I'm not a makeup guru. Like, this shit might break you out. Check. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, check. But I just want you to know you don't need to buy from this big box brand. You could buy from this person who is Latina or Latinx and sells it. And you could help build generational wealth for a community that needs it. Or you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, I promote indigenous brands. I promote Black-owned brands. I promote women-owned brands. And I think that's really always been my brand, right? My brand has always been to try to build my community, my people. And by no means do I say, like, I won't include other people, right? It's just been those are the people that got me to where I'm at. And that's the voices that I think need to be heard right now. I think it's incredibly important for marginalized communities to have the ability to build generational wealth by people buying their products. By no means do I think you should buy a product you don't like. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, right? Like, you already know what's out there that's regular name based. My whole purpose was to get the names out there that you don't know, the names out there that aren't as well known. But yeah, no, it's been really amazing. I did a small series where I promoted professionals in, marginalized spaces, and I got to cook with a chef who was from Ecuador.
Woo,
And
woo.
yeah, no, out of New York City, I got to cook Ecuadorian ceviche.
Oh my
And
gosh.
secret is I don't eat seafood, but I had to eat shrimp live. It was like on a live, and I couldn't.
Oh my God.
And it was so good though. Honestly, it was the best shrimp I had ever had. So I was like, okay,
Wow.
God. But yeah, no, I
So
got to
basically, we need to come over so you can make us some ceviche.
yes, yes, anytime. Anytime. I'd love to. Now I know how to make it thanks to
I
him. I
know.
got to work with Latina authors. I think there was like 34 authors that were all part of this group. It was really amazing. I got to work with Latina wealth activist. She's this amazing finance bro, quote unquote, for all intents and purposes, but she's out here killing the game, like Forbes 30 under, like, she's killing it. She's doing her thing.
Wow.
I'm like shocked. I'm like, I don't even know anything about money, and I'm a lawyer. Like, that's why I went to be a lawyer, because I can't do anything money related. Minus settling your case, that I will work on. But minus that, I'm not like a money gal. But it's been really great to get to see people in spaces I didn't really see them in, right? Because that was the whole purpose of it, is that I'm not saying that Latinos aren't in other fields. It's just that I didn't see them. They weren't the forefront. They weren't the main things that you thought of when you thought of it. So that's what I wanted to do with my space.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I just love everything about that, because I think it like just goes full circle. Like, you started off just putting yourself out there, and like now, like, your social media is blowing up. Like, people know who you are, and then slowly that like starts a trickle effect. Like, you meet other people, and then you connect those people, and it's just amazing to see. Really, it really is.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We are going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. I honestly feel like I could talk to you for hours, so we just had to stop. But we hope we can have you on again, because there's just so many good things we've learned from you already, and you're just so like refreshing to be around.
Thank you so much. Anytime, honestly, it was a pleasure. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for having me.